Hi guys, this is Jose again, aka Flight Monkey. I'm doing a follow-up video on my Turnigy 1/18 scale brushless Truggy that I bought. I ran it for maybe about an hour already. Ran about two of these 1800 milliamp zippy 2-cell battery packs through it, and so far it's handling very well. I thought I was going to have an issue with the gear meshing on the pinion gear and the spur gear, but this one was lined up very well. I didn't have to adjust anything, so I went ahead and ran it that way. And I did kind of tape up the dog bones at first just so I could run it before I tore it apart, and did the shrink wrap, which is what we're going to talk about today. Doing the heat shrink wrap around the dog bone and the axle so it won't pop out, because I noticed that it sits right on the edge when it's turned, and that's why they're popping them out, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is kind of try to make it quick here and not talk too much. Went ahead and did one already, and I did get some measurements, just if you guys need a little FYI on measurements as well as I'm going along. First off, the tires, they are 58.5 millimeter tall and 31.5 millimeter wide. The rim itself is 37.5 tall and 28 millimeter wide, and the axle itself, I believe, is 3 millimeter, but I'm not sure. I didn't take a measurement on that. I was more concentrating on the rim and tire. The shocks as well, they're not oil filled. These are the original ones. They're air, and the front ones are 50 millimeter from eyelid to eyelid, center hole to center hole, and the rears are 60 millimeter. So just in case you're looking for replacements, those are the actual measurements that I took. Also, I had seen it, and I didn't mention it on my first video. These new units are coming out with the upgraded metal cups for the dog bones, and I was kind of worried that I might have not have gotten the upgraded and might get the plastic ones, but I did indeed get the metal ones, and they are awesome. They are actually metal, so they're not lying. What I did notice as well is it's supposed to be a 2-cell. But the ESC says 6 volt to 12.6 volts, so technically it should be able to handle a 3-cell, as well as the motor. Since they're putting this ESC on it, I seen a video where a guy actually runs a 3-cell on it, and it is very fast. But I was thinking, well, he's just gonna burn out his ESC because it's meant for a 2-cell, but no, it handles up to 12.6. So that's something to look into. I might try a 3-cell on it later on down the road, but he did say that the gears were getting ground down in about 10 minutes, but I don't know. I think I might have gotten the upgraded spur gear as well on this one, because there's no wear, and I just pretty much abused it as far as speed-wise, and it's handling great. So it might be the nylon one versus the plastic one, but I will get spares anyways. Going back to the axles, what I'm using is the shrink tube that is 12 millimeter wide as it sits flat. I don't know what exact diameter it is, but as they sit flat, it's 12 millimeters this way, and it's perfect for it. Now what I'm doing is I cut it at 9 millimeter wide, and I cut it there, and then I slid it over the cup itself, and then I put the dog bone through, and I made sure that it didn't overlap into the axle part. And then I started the heat from the bottom up, and not get it so hot where it'll actually grab onto the dog bone, so that it has some play as it goes up and down on the suspension, so it won't rub on it too much. And I didn't want to leave it too long, so it'll have actual play and not fall out. So that being said, let's do the other side now. What I had to do was take my little wrench here. Not sure what size it is, but if it's perfect in there, I got a little wrench with multiple different sizes on it. and also use it for my spur gear on my T-Max, which works great. But got the nut there, and then you just pull out the tire, and we have one screw up here, one screw at the bottom holding the hub. So we take that off. This one there, and one at the bottom.
Well, you may tell the captain that I am disinclined to acquiesce to his request.
Being very careful not to strip them out. Very small, very delicate pieces, and it just comes right out like so. Now there is the pin right there for the rim. Don't want to lose it. It's so tiny. We're just going to drop all that in there. Get the rest of the stuff. Get this one out of the way. Get this out of the way. And sorry guys, but as you can tell, dog bone just came off. And my axle, this is where I have just wrapped some clear tape around it just to keep them from falling out for just a test drive. And we will take that off if I can manage. There we go. Just take it all off. My concern was that the shrink tube might slide off because it's just flat, but it actually grabs on pretty good. So I was thinking putting some CA in there, but no, it grabbed pretty good. And then we're gonna go down here to 9mm, which I found was a pretty good size to leave it at. And I don't know if you guys can see there, but it's about 9 right there, more or less. 897, lock it in, and then I'm just using this so I won't tear up the table too bad. Go right there and right on it. Slice it on through. Set this aside. Set this aside. Now, what I do is just open it up, slide it around where it's flush up against the cup, and drop my dog bone in there, find the slots, and grab my lighter, which I had it here. Here it is. Okay, and then just start the heat from the bottom, or if you got a heat gun, that would be better. I got the AC blowing right now, so bear with me. Just start the heat at the bottom and see how it starts shrinking up here. We don't want it to shrink too much. I think I went a little bit low there, right there, right on the edge. And there we go. Starting to shrink up on top. Perfect. And she doesn't slide out. Still a little warm, but doesn't slide out. And it holds it right in place. Dog bone doesn't come out, and gives it enough play in there to move back and forth, but doesn't let it drop. Worked out great. Thank you guys for the advice. I got this off of some forums on the internet about this little trick, so I figured there's nothing on YouTube about it. Figured I'd give it a try. But now the trick is going to be getting the hub back on there. But there you have it, folks. Shrink tube for the dog bones, and it fits right in there. And as I keep going on this little truggy, I'm gonna keep posting videos of all the little stuff, maybe running it as well, but all the little modifications, anything that's gonna make life easier for anybody out there that gets this little truck, and that way they don't have to hassle so much. I'll be more than glad to post the little tips that I come across here and there, and hopefully make things a lot easier for you guys. And so far I'm enjoying it. It's a fun little truck. I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks.